sure you are sharing this. Make sure you are subscribing and telling everybody you know to tune in to subscribe um, right now because I believe this is going to be something that can benefit them, that they can use, and to help aid them in their pursuit for success in any area of their life. I started a session our last time together dealing with breaking unhealthy habits that prevent massive success in your life. No mistake about it, all of us have some habits um, that if we gave more attention to and begin to analyze the repercussions or the consequences that those habits are resulting in, then certainly we would eliminate them so that our life can move in a more accelerated manner and that we could have and live life at an exceptional level. And so we've been talking about breaking these habits that prevent us from having massive success. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you start breaking these habits, that's the moment you'll begin to see your life soar to places that you could have never fathomed your life going. And one of the things that we talked about, we started in our initial session, was dismantling the entire notion that you can get to your ideal place while remaining in an idle position. The truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, most are unaware, they are totally oblivious as to how hands on that they have to be in terms of participating in the fulfillment of their future. Your future is not just going to manifest by happenstance or by osmosis. It's going to be a result of very diligent dedication, devotion to your destiny, and being locked in terms of your focus to get to the place of your destination. And so we must prioritize our own participation in the unveiling of the future we think we deserve and the one that we know we desire. And so the reality of the matter is that if you're going to go to new dimensions and accomplish things that you at one point could have never foreseen yourself accomplishing, then it's going to require that you break this notion in your mind that you could just sit in your idle place and get to your ideal position. Most people are in an idle or neutral position because um, they've deemed the excuse of not having enough support as enough justification to remain where they are. When the truth of the matter is, if you have to begin to act now, in other words, if you must act alone, then you must. Let me caution you that a lot of the movement that's going to occur in your life, then a great portion of it is going to be moving alone. And those are necessary increments in all of our lives because um, it kind of gives you a different perspective when people decide they're going to jump ship on you or they're no longer interested um, in helping you with any endeavor of your life, then you're not so easily broken up and fall apart or um, contemplate quitting what you're endeavoring to do simply because the people who you thought would be there are no longer there. The reality of it is, all of us have probably lived long enough by now to know for a fact that people are going to come and people are going to go. But you can't hinge your ambition or your life's goals or objective and make it predicated on it can only happen if certain people are present or they are in place. Hear me really well. The only person that is necessary, that is mandatory for the unveiling of your next level of living is you. This is why you have to be present in every moment. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday, but you can't just sit around and pine away in discouragement and jeopardizing the manifestation of the things you've been going after simply because you don't have the kind of support system in place that you thought you would need in order to make your life work and to make your life happen for you. But let me just say this to you: if you're going to go to the next level of living, and if you're going to get to the place that you ultimately want to be in, then it's going to require individual effort, individual intent, and individual intensity. There has to be this internal, innate drive on the inside of you that will not let you quit, even when quitting seems to be the most comfortable um, and the most ideal option for you at this moment. The question is can your desire survive hurt? Can your desire survive hurt? Because it is at that point that most people develop a distaste and a disinterest um, in remaining persistent until the end result. But for most people, generally, hurt is enough to cause them to back away and move away from the thing that they have endeavored to do. But your desire has to remain very intensified. Because the reality of the matter is, desire is not validated simply through your articulation of it. It must result in some action, internal action. In other words, proof of desire is pursuit. Don't tell me what you desire, and you're just remaining kind of nonchalant. You have no initiations going on. There's no drive happening in your life, and so desire is only validated through action, not simply the articulation of intent. Because I know a whole lot of people who's I'm intending to do this. I'm going to do this. One day I will do this. But the reality of the matter is there is a great difference between articulation and action. But desire is only validated through your actions. And so it is when and only when your actions are in alignment with your vision that you begin to realize that this has always been the formula for the provision you need and will ever need to fund and to facilitate your future and all the endeavors that are in it. Hear me really well. Now, if you get this, it's going to shift how you've been thinking about what you've been doing or what you have not been doing. The truth is, your lack, my lack in any area of our lives can always be attributed to some degree of laziness on our part. I don't, I didn't necessarily want to be the one to break that bubble to you, but the reality of it is, any lack in any area of our lives can usually be contributed to an area of laziness in our life, whether it is a seminar that you did not feel like going to that would have changed your life had you attended, or whether it was you were cutting your study time by a few hours, or blowing off a conference that could have provided you with an enormous amount of information and insight that would have expanded your mind and contributed to increasing you in multiple areas of your life, whether it was you canceling a meeting that could have potentially provided you with access to a networking experience that would have changed your net worth. One of the most irresponsible things that you and I can do relative to our desires is to not position ourselves to be where we need to be when we need to be there. Now, you must get that. One of the most irresponsible things you can do is not position yourself to be where you need to be when you need to be there to get exactly what you need for your vision to manifest and for your vision to happen. And so if you are idle, hear me, you are always going to have some degree of insufficiency in your life. Understand this. Abundance in your life will always be the result of an aggressive and consistent work ethic. Now, the reason I want to say that to you is because a lot of people are hinging every degree of progress, prosperity, and success in their lives on their prayer. Everything is hinged on your prayer. And so I'm just going to pray and I'm going to believe this is going to happen. But the Bible is clear, even that faith without works is dead, being alone. And so the intensity of your grind must never diminish or decrease. You will only get what you desire out of life when you make an irrevocable commitment to yourself to work fervently the gifts, the skills, the talents, the ideas, and the plans that you have been given by God. You cannot, for another day of your life, afford to waste time on frivolous pursuits, passions, or projects that have not been endorsed by God, nor have they been determined to fit into the scope of your life. You have to, by any means necessary, determine that I am no longer going to waste time on futile endeavors that will leave in its wake the regret of time, energy, and resources that cannot be recovered. So you got to make a habit of only chasing after things that have been commissioned for your life. Stop chasing fantasies and vague goals. You must determine that I'm going to be intentional and I am never going to allow myself to be in an idle position another day in my life. Now, here's the question to you. Here's the question to you that you have to ponder in your mind. Number one, what areas in your life are you currently the idlest? I want you to make a note. I want you to write down at least 2 areas of your life that you're the most idle in right now. Number 2, what action steps will you take to change unproductive patterns of idleness? What steps are you going to take? Because again, nothing changes until something changes. Whether that's a mindset, behavior, action plans, shifting of goals, shifting of your focus, nothing changes until something changes in your life. Number 3, what rewards and profits do you project will be a result of these adjustments? Now, I don't want you to answer them now. I want you to sit down and I want you to replay it, rehearse it. I want you to write these things down. The moment you write them down, you are making a commitment to yourself to abandon some habits, some proclivities, some tendencies that are prohibiting you from having the kind of success that you know that you're fully capable of having. Hear me. Sometimes the only hindrance to where you are and where you want to be are the habits that you will not let go of. And so you have to begin to ponder and ask yourself, what areas am I currently the most idle? What action steps will I change to disrupt this unproductive pattern of idleness? And then you have to outline what are the rewards and profits that I project that's going to be a result of these adjustments. If you would make the adjustments to eliminate these habits in your life that are really holding you back, you could propel yourself 3 years ahead if you would ditch now some of these habits that have been nothing more than detrimental to your progress. They have been disruptive to your attempts to do more and to have more. But if you're going to see and get to a place and experience to live a life the way you want to live it, then you have to break these unhealthy habits that are preventing you from having the kind of massive success that you want to do in your life. And one of the first things that we have to dismantle in terms of this session um, is to dismantle the fact that I can just remain in an idle position and get to the ideal place that I want to experience in life. No, sir. No, ma'am. It's just not a reality. You have to get up every day with unbridled level of passion. You have to get up every single day intent on living your life to your potential. No longer am I dummying down just to make insignificant people feel secure. No longer am I hiding my intellect or my level of educational prowess just to remain within a peer group that's never going to progress beyond where they are now. I have to decide here and now that I am no longer willing to leave my life hung up because of habits that I could address, that I could eliminate in order for me to experience the kind of life and the kind of lifestyle that I've always wanted to live. Let me tell you now, you go back, watch this previous session, couple it with this session, and I'm telling you now that you're getting ready to have the tools, the insight, the strategies that are going to equip you to go into the next phase of your life and give it a better go than you ever had before. You have to decide, but you can't be idle. You can't sit around waiting on someone else to create an opportunity for you. You have to decide, I'm going to create my own opportunities. Look how smart you are. You smart, brilliant, intellectual. You got creativity just comes to you naturally. You have some natural gifts and talents and skills that you haven't even tapped into yet. I mean, perhaps you've tapped into them so other people can use them, but you've never for a moment considered that if I can do this for somebody else, I could do this for me. And so a mindset change has to happen. You got to get more aggressive about living the kind of life that you want, because I know it sounds a little elementary, but you only have one life to live. You better live it the way you want to live it, on your terms, according to your timetables, according to your preferences. That will only happen when you decide, if I'm going to move from this idle position into my ideal position in life, then it's going to require my initiative. It's going to require that my focus stays intact. It's going to require that every single day I operate at a certain level of intensity. I cannot diminish my level of intensity because things are not necessarily going my way at the moment. I can't keep flaking out on my dreams every time it gets hard. That's why I posed the question, can your desires handle hurt or disappointment? Because they're going to come. But when your desire is stronger than anything life presents to you, then you know that you're going to gain everything out of life that you want out of it. So on this day, I'm challenging you, like I've challenged myself, to look at every unproductive habit, everything that we're doing just to be doing it. We're not getting results from it. Our life is not the better because of it. So why are you still doing it? Ditch it. Scratch that off the list. Make space for more healthy habits in your life, things that are going to be productive and show you more of what life has to offer. And then you're going to see your life skyrocket and literally, I promise you, go to places you have never seen it before. Well, I'm out of time for this session. Um, this is part two of breaking unhealthy habits that prohibit or prevent massive success in your life. I want to see you soar as high as you can go, but that only happens when you take the initiative to move your life into that position. Don't forget, go to my website, henrybolden.com, pick up some material there. My book is there, What's So Great About You. Literally, people are getting it around the world every single day. So why don't you have it? What's up with that? Get it in paperback, get it in email, ebook format as well. Also, there's a book of 50 of my quotes and inspirational affirmations there entitled, You Can Quote Me on This. It's an ebook download. Paperbacks are going to be available really, really soon. and you definitely want to be able to get your hands on that. All right. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this. Don't forget to tell as many people as you can about this channel. They need to be a part of this community. Always remember, success has a formula, and I want to be the one that shows it to you. I will see you on next time.